Hello and welcome to the Sheep Seats. I am your host, Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep, and I am here tonight with my friend Hunter. Hunter, how are you?
Doing well, Matt. Thank you for having me back on the sheep seat. It's been a full year since I've been on the show, and happy to be back.
Brian's out there. What's up, Brian? So, as is currently the format of the Sheep Seats, we're gonna draft a couple of late night underdog teams and kick off our discussion here. So, this is a 4 game slate. We got Chicago and Seattle, St. Louis at Arizona, Washington at Oakland, and San Diego at the Dodgers. So
Let's
yeah,
do it.
looks like there might be some overlay if you're out there watching. Can jump in. Yeah, we're not going to draft Hunter Brown, who is not looking great.
Oh
Definitely
yeah,
worried about that. I drafted him quite a bit in season-long stuff. So
yeah. What was that 9 runs in the first?
yeah, and didn't even make it out.
Yeah, not great.
So the way that I usually do this, what's up, Svi? Sorry, I can't see your symbol, your secret symbol there. But the way I have just projections loaded from the bat when I start this. I always have just my pictures in order at the top. So as you're not super familiar with the format, I don't think. But the way that pitching is scored on the daily slates and underdog, they to me they don't matter. The scoring is just like the potential for you to need a pitcher to win is really low. Um, so
Got
yeah,
it.
we according to projections, we got Tatis here. His ADP is 19, but he's the second highest in the bat tonight. So I think that's pretty interesting. But we'll start with a really safe Mookie Betts here. Um,
Love it.
what's bracking? I'm not sure. Chipsy. Who for if you missed it, the Chipsy. So Hunter Chipsy is a character within the Deposit Kingdom Discord that has been around for a while, and he had a face reveal the other night over on the Badge Bros private stream. So
Oh,
the paid stream. So
the big face reveal.
yeah. So
His name's Chipsy or Chip Skylark.
uh, that's the joke.
Oh,
It is Chip Skylark, but Overzet calls him Chipsy because he's in like every stream, and he's a good guy.
love it.
He's drafting everywhere. So yeah, it's an interesting slate tonight. Yeah. So Yamamoto goes there. He really looked good against the Cubs. I don't know, I kind of put the Padres maybe in a similar offensive category as the Cubs. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I guess they're weaker. They're probably not as deep as the Cubs.
From a
So
pitching standpoint, you
interesting
said.
from a hitting standpoint against
Oh,
Yamamoto.
yeah. Pretty. I mean, Cubs have looked pretty good.
So if we get Freddie here, that should be pretty nice. Chipsy started with Carroll, so he might go with another Arizona guy. Although it looks like other people are on Arizona if we look up. Okay, so he does take Freddie. So at this point, I'm usually. So it's interesting. St. Louis is up here, this kind of natural stack here. Washington's here. But we talked about it. Let's start building some Cubs here to go along with Mookie.
I like it. Washington could be a little sneaky against Blackburn. But I don't know
Yeah.
how much you have to go there here if you have those other options. But I don't know, a guy like CJ Abrams looking pretty good there. He's been good
Yes.
to
So
start the year.
I'm usually because on these drafts, I'm trying to do a stack of a 3-person stack of one team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep with the Cubs here.
Yeah.
Um, although we might fit in a Will Smith here too. So the way I usually build these is like I pick 2 teams and put them together like 3 and 2 or 2 and like 1. As you can see, this is let's see what the room's doing. So yeah, Larry's kind of took 2 different teams. Chip's got Arizona, LA. That seems to be the popular on the top of the board here. Hey, Christopher.
Arizona.
Yeah, so Steven Matz, definitely beatable. Although somewhat surprising sometimes how resilient he can be.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that spot though. Not a huge Mats guy.
Yeah, I just never get there, and he never projects well. But sometimes he can just go out there and prevent enough runs from the other offense. It is interesting. Paul Blackburn going ahead of Bryce Miller, but we kind of put ourselves in a not going with Bryce Miller when we took the Cubs, which is fine. So yeah, we'll take Will Smith here to add our Dodgers. Yeah, it's interesting here. So we could take one of these 2 pitchers. Do you have any love for Fott or Wicks tonight in these matchups? What do you think?
I mean, I'd probably go Fott. That could go south really fast, but I'd probably go with him over Wicks.
Yeah, I think their actual projection number is pretty close.
Yeah.
Seattle has been dismal so far.
Right.
And so, like, I could have continued the stacks, but at this point, I have plenty of Cubs that Max Muncy's here. We could take a one-off like Manny Machado, but there's a lot of, Morel is here, who's someone that I really missed on this year, Christopher Morel. In the season-long drafts, I don't know. I feel like I got too into him not having like a good defensive position. I forgot how good the bat could actually be.
Yeah. He had that hot streak last year.
Yeah.
But so how many you have 1 position left?
Yep. One more to fill.
Okay.
So here looks like somebody took Muncy to go with his Freddie. So we like at this point it's just a random dice roll to see. Like these guys all project probably pretty similar to each other. So that's where like when I'm doing multiple teams, I just try to get different combinations on the same slate. If I'm doing a stack over and over, a lot of times, I'll have the similar anchors of like the first like a Mookie in a Dodger stack. So yeah, what do you think? You can pick any of these 3 guys: Happ, Swanson, or Morel.
I say we go with Morel.
All right, make up for my not drafting him all draft season.
Let's do it.
So yeah, that's our team 1.
Love it.
And as you can see, I got 1 to practice in to see what the slate was like, and we got 10 more minutes, so we'll jump into another one. Looks like there's going to be quite some overlay, so if you're out there, probably people are mass entering now and clicking buttons. So, so Hunter, part of the problem with this format of currently jamming these after dark and not changing the start time is that I don't really introduce people. So Hunter, what's up with you? I had you on here a year ago, like you said, and we talked mostly about Sorare, but now you started some other baseball content, and talk about your Sorare stuff and the other stuff.
Yeah. So I don't play a lot of Underdog. I did play today though. I entered a $3 contest for the main slate, just to get ready for the show, because I need to familiarize myself with Underdog. But yeah, I do a lot of Sorare content. I got a Sideline Talk podcast, mostly been interviewing Sorare players, but really whoever wants to come on, I'll have them on there. We've done some Rainmakers guys. We're up to episode 42, so I've had, all different sports Sorare guys, Rainmakers guys. I've even had, Eno Saris came on. I'd reach out to, whoever and see if they want to talk baseball. Nick Pollock of Pitcher List has come on. So yeah, I've been doing that. Still got the Sorare newsletter that I did last year as well on Mondays and Fridays, breaking down the slate. And I've added some content on Pitcher List and Fantasy Pros as well. So I'm doing a couple weekly articles for those two sites, as well as a monthly article for each. So yeah, I kind of went all in on the baseball content for this season, but I really enjoy it. So it's been great getting an opportunity from those sites to do content for them. And yeah, it's been a busy season so far, only 2 weeks in.
Yeah. I saw the thing that I saw that, I was like, oh, hey, I should invite Hunter. I haven't talked to him for a while. Was that you're doing these gifts for Pitcher List on, the nastiest pitches of the day. So like, first of all, I'm interested to know like what that process is like. Number one, from picking the pitches, and number two, how you actually like get those gifts from the broadcast or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of a process to make the gifts. I didn't realize what would go into it, but basically, the best way to start is to follow Pitching Ninja on Twitter, who tweets out the best pitches of the night over on Twitter, and you look at the best ones there, and then we have a tool over at Pitcher List that is brand new this season called Inside Edge. It's very, very powerful, very cool tool. You don't have to go into MLB.tv and actually find the pitches there, which would take a lot of time. They used to do it that way, but with Inside Edge, you can sort by any pitch from any starter from the entire day. I mean, you can go back whenever. I don't know how far it goes back, but we use it just from the day before. And you can sort by swings, misses, strikeouts, whatever you want to find these pitches. So you can look at them quick. So that saves a lot of time. And then after that, the process is using OBS to record the screen. From there, you have to edit in iMovie. From there, you have to upload to Imgur, I think is the next step, which is where you make free GIFs. And then from there, you put into WordPress to get these 10 GIFs of the nastiest pitches from the day before. Once you get in the hang of it, it gets faster. But my first one, I had a lot of questions to ask there. I never made a GIF before, so that was tough. But yeah, so you do the 10 nastiest pitches from the day before, analysis for each, and then we do an article every day, actually, for that article. It comes out every day with the nastiest pitches from the day before. So it is a lot of fun to do that. And yeah, make sure to check it out. Pitcher List, nastiest pitches.
That's awesome. So Inside Edge, that's a thing that MLB does? Or
I don't think it's MLB. I think it's a separate analytics site. It's a good question though. I don't exactly know too much about it. I just know that it is. I don't know how much it costs either. I got the password. I'm not paying for it. But I'm in there, and yeah, if you're, I mean, I don't know what you would really use it for unless you're doing something like what I'm using it for. But it definitely makes it easy if you want to find a specific pitch like in 2 seconds. Go ahead and use Inside Edge, and you can find it. So it's cool.
That sounds cool. I didn't know that existed. Like, obviously, we have a sabermetric record of every single pitch out there if you find the right data feeds and know how to get it. But to have actual like video access, that's really interesting. I wonder if I assume teams use that too.
Oh yeah. I'm assuming analytics departments are all over that with just how easy it is to access. I mean, it's crazy, like the speed at which you can find stuff now. Just makes you think like how AI and all this stuff is going to affect baseball analytics in the future. We'll see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm surprised there hasn't been like athletic articles or anything yet on what teams are you doing with AI. I haven't seen any reporting on that. Maybe their teams are still trying to keep that under wraps.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, AI is so powerful right now. I mean, it's gonna be crazy the stuff you can figure out. Like, you might be able to like predict exactly what pitch someone's gonna throw, or who knows? Who knows? We'll see how it'll affect the game, but hopefully in a good way.
All right, we're gonna get a fun pick here at the end. We made a little St. Louis Padres stack with Blackburn. We're gonna put Jackson Merrill here, who has been quietly good. I don't think he's getting any of the hype that some of the other rookies are getting. At least I haven't seen much.
Nah, hear about the other two Jacksons
Right.
playing each other tonight.
Yeah. I watched the Orioles game last night. Boston. Well, sorry, I know you're a Boston fan.
Oh, that was
but
brutal.
Let's see.
The
Yep. All right, we can get
Henderson,
another
the dagger
draft. Yeah. We got time for one more. We'll get in here.
Let's do it.
I don't know. I feel like there's like some positivity in Boston, though. At least with the new pitching coaching team has brought some positivity to the team. At least I feel like this year.
Oh man, I feel like there was some positivity, and then Story went down for the year, and then Pavetta looks like he might need Tommy John. Actually, I feel like I think I read he was throwing again, but he had an elbow injury, which was scary because he looked good. Hauk was getting lit up today. Actually, I was watching the game a little before this, but it wasn't really his fault because our infield is in shambles. I had to shut it off tonight.
Kyler,
Yeah, exactly. It's Hamilton at short, Reyes at second. Both of them had bad infield plays in the first and second innings. Ended up giving up like 4 runs. I don't even know what the score is now. Rafaela, actually, who has been playing good defense, he had a bad throw. I'm hoping his bat wakes up because he's been kind of slow to bat so far, but he's been good in the outfield up until that play earlier today. But I don't know. We got some good power bats. I like Devers. I like Cassis. I think Duran is good, but O'Neill's been really good.
Yeah.
So
right. I do want to get one Yoshinobu team here. So Yamamoto. So we'll start with him. Yeah, and it sounds like I think I saw Devers is probably going to play tomorrow, so that maybe the shoulder thing. I don't know, might be a problem on and off, but I don't know.
I hope not. We need him. He's our best hitter. But
Kyler here says, and Rafael to shortstop.
Yeah, I mean Hamilton doesn't. I mean, I think he's known for being a good defender, but he has not looked good to start. He actually had a home run in his first game called up, and then he hasn't been good on defense. So I don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, we definitely need some upgrades in the infield. So maybe Rafaela to short is the play.
I'm blanking the guy they got from Atlanta. Is he back soon?
I'm drawing a huge blank too. A hitter?
Yes, he's going to play second base.
What's that guy's name? Braun Grissom. Vaughn Grissom.
Vaughn Grissom. There we go. We'll get there.
I forgot about that guy.
Ryan Braun is back.
Yeah, Grissom. Hasn't played. I don't know. I don't know if I'm super high on him. But yeah, what about the Brewers though? You're a Brewers fan, Sheep, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
that? Well, it looks like or from what I saw, I didn't get to look at it, but Yelich had got pulled from the game tonight because of lower back stuff, which is scary because that's something that has plagued him in his worst of times. Like that's always part of what I think contributes to his bad periods is some of his lingering back stuff. And I felt like based on the 5 home runs so far that he was healthy this year. I know the other day he said he had a rest day because of a neck thing. So I don't know. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Actually, the Brewers are actually up 10-1 on Baltimore right now. Can you believe it?
I can.
10-1. Adames had a 3-run homer over the big wall in left at Camden Yards. Looks like Contreras had a home run. So yeah, dude, Brewers, who saw that coming?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting the way that they've built that team this year, just how young they went. And obviously they still have, the Yelich, and they didn't get rid of Adames. They added Hoskins. I guess the biggest thing was, the Corbin Burns trade and the Rhys Hoskins signing, like coming so close together. Like what is the signal that I'm supposed to get out of this about the team?
Yeah, right.
But I guess the signal is that they just want to compete enough to say they tried.
Yeah. No, yeah, Burns looks good there in Baltimore. It's funny, Gausman actually got lit up today. 6 runs against the Rockies at home. I think there's something wrong with him because his velocity was down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. That's velocity was it down again tonight?
My underdog team.
Yeah, he was. Sadly. Let's see. All right. We're gonna get a little different. Add some Oakland to this team.
JD Davis, I like it.
Jake Irvin is nothing to be afraid of. So the other thing with the Brewers, I think that's going to hit them, and we're already kind of seeing it, is they have Freddie, and then they have a bunch of guys that are good for 4 innings, or that can be good for 4 innings.
Yeah,
and like I think just the way that they're built, the bullpen is going to get taxed at various points of the season, and then with the new manager, everybody's going to be, is he doing it right? Is he well, he doesn't really have a choice really with the starters that he was given. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to blame him.
Is Devin Williams coming back soon?
I don't think so.
Damn.
Multiple months was the original. I haven't seen anything updated, but
that's brutal. He's good out there.
Yeah, and he's getting to the point where how safe is he? How did they learn anything with trading Josh Hader too soon, or in the middle of a season? Like, could we see that happen? He comes back, and they're happy with what they have. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know, because the whole division is sort of could be good or good enough to win the division at this point. Like every team has shown signs of life. I mean, Seattle might be looking the worst right now, or St. Louis, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's interesting right now where the division is going. Might define a lot.
I actually was writing an article for Pitcher List, my Power Ranks article this morning, digging into Pittsburgh a little bit because they have been good. They're 9-4. They started off really hot, but the more I dig in, I'm like, this team actually is not good. Like the pitching is bad, and then the hitters, it falls off a cliff after. Like Reynolds is really good. I think Brian Hayes can be good, but man, does it fall? Like Edward Olivares has like 3 home runs, but I mean that guy is a part-time player. Like I don't see Pittsburgh, maintaining what they've done. I think the Cubs are good. I think they are probably going to be the biggest threat there. Cincinnati, I think we all like them. Berg says Ellie's so hot right now, and I saw he had another big homer. But
Berg, that was a Diamond After Dark draft, which just closed. We're jamming those in. That was the icebreaker, I guess, of the show. So now we're back. We're back to just Matthew and Hunter and Matthew. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. What are you doing for Fantasy Pros then? Is that?
Yeah, so Fantasy Pros. I just wanted to do articles for multiple sites, and I had a friend. I have a friend at Pitcher List, Blake. Shout out Blake. He came on the Sideline Talk podcast. He's a So Rare guy as well. He also works at Fantasy Pros, and he was able to get me in. And I'm doing the news desk, which is fun. I like doing that kind of work. So we keeping up with stuff that's going on in baseball, posting it to the Fantasy Pros MLB Twitter account. So I've been doing that part-time basis, as well as a risers and fallers article, which dropped today. Actually, it should have dropped yesterday. That was my bad. I forgot to hit submit in WordPress. I will not make that mistake again. But that dropped a day late, but I had that one come out today. And then I think I'm going to have a monthly one there as well. Also trying to get some So Rare content on there potentially. They don't have any right now. I know RotoWire is doing someone there is doing a new So Rare bi-weekly article. I think it's bi-weekly. But that's something I would be interested in doing. So I'm hoping to do that later on in the season.
Yeah. So let's get into that part then, the So Rare part. So I guess you can go back in the archives here if you want the layout of the basics. Hunter and Nick, another guy that you work with on some of the content for So Rare, came on, and we talked real through the basics of So Rare. And I'm sure there's probably better videos out there, more concise, that you can find. But essentially, it is the NFT, bad word, sorry for some people, but NFT baseball, fantasy baseball, and I guess it's Monday through Thursday set of games. There's contests posted, and then Friday through Sunday. So basically, you're just competing to win cards and some money at this year. They kind of increased some of the money prizes, and they added them last year too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is a million guaranteed this season if you play in the champion contest, which you have to use new season cards, but you can win money in those. Orange Fly Bob, he just won limited champion this past game week. Become a good prize there, and actually a lot of people who I've had in the pod, a lot of guys I follow had good weeks. So yeah, it's you can win cash. Excuse me. It's not like DraftKings or FanDuel where you can win, whatever, 50K, 100K any given night. Like you're winning 1,000 here, 500 there. But yeah, like you said, like you can also win cards in most of the contests, which people like to do. Those are the contests I mainly focus on, like the ones where you can just win better cards to boost your gallery. I don't have a huge gallery by any means. Everyone I have on the pod has a much bigger gallery than me. But I'm trying to build up as we go and start with cheap guys and build my way up and yeah, it's just it's a really fun game. You said NFT, bad word, but I think So Rare is it's almost like the healthiest form of like fantasy. I feel like you invest money at the beginning of the season, you can use the cards all throughout the year into next year. It's like DFS where you're entering, or sports betting, right? Where you're just entering parlays to try to win big prizes. So I think overall it's in my opinion, it's the best fantasy baseball game. And it'll only get better over time when prize pools get a little bit bigger.
Oh, I don't know.
I think we're good, but I was finishing up there. Those are my thoughts on So Rare.
Okay. Yeah. I've been playing it since, it started, just sort of move some.
Oh no, I can't hear you.
And you're frozen. Technical difficulties. All right. Hello. Hi.
Okay, we're back. I don't know what that was. Hopefully you didn't ask me anything.
No, I don't know. You're going in and out for me, and I think I'm going in and out for you. So it's good
I think we're
content
good.
right here. No, I was saying I started, I took some Ethernet from other NFT Ethernet,
Ethernet.
Ethereum. I don't know what's going on. It's been a long week. I took some Ethereum from some other NFT stuff that I was doing and put it on there right when it opened. The baseball stuff to try it out. And yeah, basically I've been just slowly adding, like I started, I kind of made a splurge at the start with like a Mookie and Freddie combo of cards, and then kind of built around that. And then, from there, it's like kind of build up maybe a few dollars from prizes and then go out and buy a new card. I don't really sell too much. I feel like the sell prices are pretty low, that I get more value just like anybody that I could get value from selling. I'd probably get more value on like a random week when they're in Coors, like the potential prize value. So I don't do too much selling. But yeah, I think it's fun. So each week you put out like, what is it that you put out to help people with if they want to get into Sorare?
Yeah, so I do the newsletter on my Substack. I call it the Sorare MLB Game Week Breakdown. So last year I did it all throughout the season. I did 52 of them for all 52 game weeks, and basically, excuse me, I just make it a all-in-one place to find everything you need for the upcoming game week. I actually added a weather report this year because weather has been affecting a lot of game weeks, and it's kind of hard to predict the weather. 3 and 4 games out. It's not like daily, which is a little bit easier. Kevin Roth over there at Roto Grinder is doing a great job. He's also a weatherman. I'm not. I use weather.com to find 10-day forecasts of these cities. So I do my best, but yeah, I've been tweeting that out, and people have been liking the weather stuff because it has played a big role. If a game gets rained out and it's off the slate, I mean, you can lose your pitcher. You lose a whole game for your batters. It makes a big difference. So yeah, I do that. I also just write, injuries that have popped up, guys coming in and out, the number of games for each team, which is huge. That's huge and Sorare. I break down the winners of the top winners of the game week before, and as well as I break down some of the top pitchers for the upcoming week, bullpen arms, and stacks that you should be looking at. And I use the Fantasy Pros hitter planner. Shout out them. They do a great job of easily showing what pitchers are going to be facing what teams for the next, 7 or 8 days. So it makes it really easy for Sorare, and I reference that in the article as well. So basically, if you're getting into Sorare and you just want to, and even if you're new to the sport, there's lots of people from all over the world that are, tuning into the newsletter and learning about baseball, through the newsletter. People in Europe that, are on the soccer side. Sorare is very much on the soccer side, and they want to learn about baseball, and they come in and they're just learning. So it's good for them to, figure out, who, like, there's so many pitchers in that slate. Where do I go? And I just kind of make it easy by recommending Kevin Gausman, who got blown up by Colorado today. So don't, no, I think that you gotta do a deep dive on him. I think he lost some velocity. But I also mentioned Tariq Skubal against Minnesota. I think he goes tomorrow. Maybe it's tonight. I forget.
He pitched tonight.
Oh, it's tonight? Okay.
He was not quite as sharp from what I was seeing before we started.
Okay. Yeah, he stood out. There was another guy that stood out. So I'll reference 7 or 8 guys that stand out from a matchup standpoint and based on their stats. So yeah, all in one place. Check it out. I've been posting it to Twitter. Also, I learned this season to not post a Substack link in the tweet because Twitter does not like that. Now that I've been saying, click the link in my bio at the end, which is one extra step for people, but the tweet gets a lot more traction. So that's my strategy this year.
Interesting. Yeah, you're probably a lot more savvy to Twitter stuff than I am. I just sort of tweet out the link of YouTube. I don't know if that matters, but I think
YouTube's fine. Twitter likes YouTube. It doesn't like Substack because I guess they had like like, I don't know, they were going to make a competitor to Substack, and I don't know if it ever came to fruition, but Twitter does not like Substack, but they like YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The Gaussman thing is important because I did over the course of last year start getting into the rare tier of the cards just from winning a couple of them in some the limited contests. So I'm very thin on the amount of cards I have in that tier, and Gaussman is supposed to be my ace. And then I have Senga and Taj Bradley, who are both hurt. So my chances there are pretty thin right now, unless he figures it out. But I do think the game is really interesting. Obviously, there are people optimizing it with their pocketbook, with their wallet. They're going with the best teams each week. But for me, part of the fun is, I think you're similar, having that limited roster and like trying to figure out each week which makes sense to give me a chance to win a lower tier prize, just to have the options to, increase that puzzle the next time.
Yeah. In a sport like baseball, it's like you can absolutely win with a cheap team. I mean, you got Tigers and Pirates. I mean, you can win, first place on any given game week. It's not like basketball where you need, the stars. But you're right there. I want to see some, like, maybe some capped games, there's a salary cap for baseball. Something where you can't just jam in the studs, because there are people out there. And I know, because I've had them on the pod, these guys that, just have like massive galleries. Like if you look at YNWA's gallery value on Sorare data, it's like, in millions of dollars between like all sports. So you get guys like that, he's playing the unique tier. I think he's won 3 weeks in a row, unique pro. And then, Sorare has trouble with those tiers with payouts. You have first place, but you only win a unique, tier 4. And but I don't know. There's a lot of talk about that. I can't speak on the unique tier or really any tier outside the limited, because I don't have much experience. But yeah, so yeah, you can definitely win with your pocketbook, as you said. But I also think that in baseball you can absolutely compete at the limited tier. Yeah. which is what I'm trying to do.
And for me, it's nice that there is that prize structure, but it's not like a huge prize, so I don't feel like I need to optimize like to the utmost. Like I can have fun with it, but I'm still getting rewarded.
Yeah. It's not like, I think maybe Sorare turns some people away because there aren't those huge prizes.
Right.
At the top, people are like, I don't want another card. Like, give me like $1 million,
Right.
But I don't know. I think that there has been a big step up this season. You win Rare Pro, you can win like Rare Champion, you can, win like $1,000. It'll get there. It's more, what I found with the community of Sorare is it's just people that really like fantasy and they like baseball. It's not so much like your hardcore gambler, poker players. Like I found, playing DFS back in the day, is that you would get those guys.
Right.
It was a much different community. Sorare you get NFT people, but you get people that are really just about, baseball and community, and I love it. I love the Sorare community.
Yeah, I just sort of view it through your Twitter and some of you. I don't participate too much, but yeah, you said I don't want to win a card, but it's still more fun to me winning a card than competing against randoms in a Yahoo season. Just of the options, and I'm not going to say I didn't put $0 into it. I put some, money into it to start, but I've been just playing off that from the beginning. So it's not like I feel the need to be chasing. I mean, obviously, eventually people are going to phase out, but buy my Spencer Strider card and it's valuable forever, right? It's not no problem with
exactly.
it.
Like, yeah, you get the cards like season to season. It's not like in DraftKings Rainmakers, like the football product, where the cards really lose value at the end of the season, and like you have to load up again, which I didn't like that at all. But it's so rare you get to use them, season to season, and there's really good contests that you can play with the cards from last year. I mean, you can't play in the champion contest where you can win money or good money, but yeah, you can absolutely use these guys for their whole career, and I think the game will continue to grow. We're only in the third season, not even the third season. We're in the first season was half a season. The last season was the first full season. This is like the second season, so second full season. So yeah,
and I guess the other thing they added this year is some collection boosts. So if you're sort of into collecting teams, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not super into it, but if that's like something you like to do, because it is interesting that it sort of gives some value to some of the useless players.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's huge because I think collecting is a big part of it. And like, I just had Bob Orangefly on the pod. He's collected from the new cards. He's collected 3 teams: Athletics, Dodgers, and Brewers, I believe. And he has, he gets huge bonuses. I think like up to 9% or something like that on those new cards because he has all of them. So a team like the Athletics, I mean, they, those guys are not good. You can scoop up, a lot of those crappy guys for $1 because he's got all the limited ones for those teams. So, he just won limited champion. Granted, he had a Brave stack, on that team, but like, collections is a huge part of it, and I think that makes it cool because I think collecting is fun. I always grew up collecting cards, and a lot of people I've had in the pod, they'll mention that. Like, I love collecting things, and maybe that's not what some people are into, and that's fine. But I think trying to collect a whole team, if it's your team, the team that you support, and you want to collect all the cards from that team, I think there's definitely some fulfillment in doing that.
Yeah, and it seems like I don't know. Maybe you can speak like the soccer, the football side of things, the international. It seems like the company is strong in those areas that obviously worry about MLB licensing, but there's not like a super concern of the company and the structure, like and a lot of like NFT related projects that you would have those like concerns, like is this actually a business and do they have support long term? And I'm
Right.
As the MLB stuff grows, I feel like the company at least is supported by soccer more.
Yeah, no, I mean, soccer is like by far the biggest sport on the platform. I wish I was into it more, to be honest. I'm trying to get into soccer a little bit. I'm trying to call it football so I get accepted by the community.
Sorry, I'm ruining your cred tonight.
No, that's okay. I'm learning slowly. I've been watching highlights of Liverpool. I think they're my team in the Premier League. I've just picked one. So yeah, I picked the one at the top. Actually, they're doing well. But
yeah, good place to start. You jump on the bandwagon. Everybody will love that part.
Although, did you know? Fun fact: the guy who I forget his name, who owns the Red Sox, like also owns Liverpool. Did you know this?
I knew he owned some soccer because fans are complaining about it.
Yeah. So I have a connection already. So it's meant to be. I'm meant to be a Liverpool fan, apparently.
Except you like the owner of the Red Sox.
I guess I like the Red Sox. I can't speak on ownership. Maybe he's spending all his money on Liverpool players and not boosting our infield, but who knows?
Yeah, and the other thing you mentioned was cards, and like I don't necessarily love the look of the Sorare cards, but the collecting aspect for me definitely always, I got stacks of Pokemon and Magic cards here. I'm also always collecting things.
What don't you like about the cards? You want to see like an action shot, like the classic cardboard cards, or what?
I just think they look cheap. I don't know. That's the word I'll put on them.
I think the 2022 ones definitely look cheap. I don't think those ones look good. I thought last year's were better, and I think this year's are good. I don't know if you've seen the new ones, but they have more of like a full body one, and it looks less like an intern did them on Canva.
Yes, they look like they are putting more design. Maybe it is the shot of the players, just being them standing there. That might be it. That would go along, just like some action shots. Or I mean, there's no reason it can't be some sort of little GIF or whatever too.
Yeah, I like that. Like a little NBA Top Shot, a little movement.
Yeah, I mean that's what so many people wanted out of. I mean, we won't get into Top Shots discussion because I don't have anything more to say about it. But that was, obviously what a lot of people saw that came into that was that video aspect from collectibles, and then a lot of them came from DFS and fantasy. So I feel like Sorare actually implemented things that people wanted out of Top Shots. Just maybe they could use a little more visual style.
Oh yeah, no, Top Shot. I think we talked about Top Shot when you came on my podcast, but
yeah,
we don't need to go down that road. But yeah, I think Sorare, the gamified part of Sorare makes it way better.
Yeah, the other interesting I think thing is last year they really Sorare, like, I feel like they fumbled the marketing. Like they didn't, like, there was Sorare advertisements on MLB TV like all year long, like every other ad, and I'm like, what baseball fan is actually your target demographic that this Julio Rodriguez ad makes sense for?
Yeah, I didn't even have a subscription last year. I did get one this year. I used to just watch Red Sox games on a certain website, but for free. But yeah, but I did hear they had those ads all over the place, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, that seems like they're kind of overdoing it. I know they have a huge budget to spend on this stuff, but I don't really know, what the solution is, who to market necessarily, what the play is. I asked this question to Damien, the product manager, when he came on the pod a few weeks back. He was saying that they want to target multiple audiences, the fantasy community, the FIFA community, for the soccer side, as well as MLB The Show community, which I think is a pretty strong one. I think that would be a really good community to target as well. Yeah, not so much DFS players, I would say.
Yeah, and definitely not general MLB fans.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, probably not the old guys watching their team. Probably not gonna know how to set up an account.
It is what is it, John Heyman?
Who?
Heyman. No, John Morosi. That's it.
Oh, John Morosi. Yeah,
John Morosi.
Yeah, he's still doing it. He's still the ambassador. He tweets out his team.
He makes his team each game week, and I still think that is hilarious. I don't know that, like, he has any. I always assume that somebody's making those teams for him and writing the tweets for him. I don't know too much about him, but I just do think that I definitely didn't expect him back this year.
No, I would guess he is making the teams. He does like some short videos here and there. I mean, he just, I don't know. He's getting paid to put together a team in 2 seconds and tweet it out. I'm sure, he's putting it together. As far as, is he checking the team and how it's doing throughout? Is he going to the marketplace and scouting? Probably not. Is he watching sideline talk? Probably not.
When's he going to be on?
I haven't reached out. I gotta reach out and get in his DM, see if John Morosi will get on.
I mean, you got
that one.
You had you said the marketing coordinator on, right?
Yeah.
He's probably got the contact info for you. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, me and Damien, we talk a lot now. We're we're working together. He had me do a short form TikTok, nice. Maybe get that boosted. So hey, you got to connect with these people. Maybe he can connect me with who.
Oh, and now I've lost him, and he can probably not hear me. again.
Having those connections is big. I'm back. We're back, folks.
We're back. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about networking.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that when we first started chatting, and and then you got this year, and I was pretty jealous.
Yeah, no, I was just reaching out to people, and I reached out to, I did not expect him to respond. I think he responded like 3 days later, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." So I was like, "Okay." And I only knew about because Nick used to mention him on the pod and how he listened to Rates and Barrels and referenced some of Eno's stuff and how was his favorite writer. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna reach out to Eno, see what happens. And he said he would come on. I think the only reason he came on is because I had Pitcher List in my bio, and he's good friends with Nick Pollock. They do a podcast together, which was funny because he came on the pod, and his first sentence was, he goes, "Oops, I double booked with your boss," and I was like, "Oh, do you have to go?" He's like, "No, I can push him back. Are you or something like that?" But we were able to do it on time. He had to push Nick Pollock back for the Sideline Talk podcast. I was honored, and then he ended up. They do a podcast called The Craft, and they were about to record episode 1 of that podcast right after Sideline Talk. So it was kind of cool to have him on, and we asked all kinds of questions. At the end, I had some miscellaneous questions like, what is your favorite piece of baseball memorabilia? And then he pulls out like these like weird looking like San Francisco Giant like those dolls that like they go inside each other, like Russian dolls or something.
Yeah. Matryoshka, I think.
Yeah, it was funny. So yeah, that was great to have him on. And that podcast did well. And then I had Nick Pollock on a few weeks after that. He was easy because we've talked before when he hired me for the site and everything. And that one was up to like 800 views. I don't know where he posted it, but thank you, Nick. That one's by far my most watched video. So I've had some pretty cool guests on to talk baseball, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you got on your mind with baseball this year? Who's surprising you the most? Team or player? Good or bad?
Oh man, who's surprising me the most? Man, I mean, Tyler O'Neill's been hot. He's leading the league in homers. Gausman hasn't been good. I'm trying to think if there's anyone that really has. I mean, there's been some players that are cold, like Julio Rodriguez. Acuna doesn't have a homer. Judge, I don't think, has a homer. There's been Seager hasn't gotten it going. There's some top studs who have not been doing well to start the year. And then I guess all those pitcher injuries, the elbow injuries, like people are throwing so hard. Like Mason Miller, dude, like me and actually talked about him on the pod. Like that guy's throwing 104. Like these guys are throwing so hard, they're getting Tommy John surgery, like left and right. That's been surprising me. But yeah, we're only 2 weeks in. I'm looking forward to a good baseball season.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like outside of a few teams, mostly that we expected, maybe Marlins are worse than I expected. But most of the teams feel like they're live for something, or I can find exciting things to watch on most teams this year. And then, that's one of the fun things about being diversely invested in different types of fantasy too, regular roto season long, the underdog stuff, the Sorare stuff. Like it allows me to really enjoy, more teams and more players than maybe, I would just sitting in, my normal life, Brewers life, or, the local team sort of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fantasy makes baseball so much more interesting. I mean, without it, it's kind of boring, like my dad just watches the Red Sox, doesn't play fantasy, and he enjoys that, but it's from a different generation. Like younger people, we play fantasy and get to know all the players in the league, and it makes it very exciting as a whole for baseball. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Do you do any like physical baseball card collecting then too?
I do not. I did when I was younger. I think I had like a bunch of 2005 cards. I bought like a whole box of like every player in like 2005. I wonder if I still have those. But yeah, so I used to collect when I was younger. Not so much now. I don't really see a point in it. It's kind of time consuming and not too interested in the physical cards now. But I don't know if I ever got a super valuable one, maybe I would get interested all of a sudden.
Yeah, I had a period recently where I did a lot more, but fell off as I feel like it was pre-COVID boom, so that sort of ruined. The companies really started printing a lot of stuff, so I kind of fell off. But
yeah, it's too much effort to sell them.
Right. That's really what talking about Sorare. Yeah, it's not much effort to sell them. Like maybe it's hard to find a buyer for your seventh inning reliever guy that has no value, but even if you're not trying to optimize, it's not too hard to sell. Whereas like all physical cards, like I just collect, and then my wife gets upset that they sit around and well, I could sell them, and then never do. So
yeah, too much effort. That was the thesis of the Bales article, was
right.
that was that it's much easier to sell these things online. So
yeah. All right, so that's what we got. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you, Hunter, for jumping in again. And I know you're not, kind of threw you to the wolves on trying to talk about underdog small slate drafts, but appreciate you joining.
Yeah, no, of course. Good luck in the drafts tonight. I think your teams look good. Appreciate you having me on. Always down to come on the sheep seats, talk fantasy, talk baseball. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So everybody out there, enjoy your weekend of baseball. And for Hunter and myself, have a good night.